Stadium. We start with a critical game for these two countries as Saudi Arabia take on India. I'm Tim James Long, your tournament commentator for this Asian Zone event. Just 2 games left for each of the 6 nations here as they aim to finish top of the group in this round-robin format to take the one available ticket to next year's Olympic qualifying tournaments ahead of Paris 2024. Saudi Arabia started with back-to-back defeats against Bahrain and Syria, so Monday's 14-point win over Indonesia could already be too little too late for them. Their only hope is winning their final 2 games by significant margins as well, and hoping group leaders Bahrain lose their last 2, opening up the possibility of a multiple team tie. As for India, the most likely challengers to Bahrain, but they have to win this one before those 2 nations meet in a potential winner-takes-all game tomorrow. This young India team started impressively with wins over Syria and Indonesia, but they were shocked by a previously winless Kazakhstan side on Monday, losing 70-73. Now they're 2-1. If they lose again today, it could all be over even before the final day if Bahrain move to 4-0 with a win over Indonesia in the next game on this court this afternoon. Completing the schedule today on game day 4. This evening it's Kazakhstan against Syria. Both of those teams currently just 1-2 alongside Indonesia and Saudi Arabia in a 4-way tie for 3rd place. India sitting 2nd at 2-1, Bahrain top at 3-0. And only the group winners go to next year's Olympic qualifying tournaments. So this absolutely imperative to keeping the tournament going until the final day for India to win this. There's Sekon, the 21-year-old. He's averaged 11 points, 3 assists, a tournament joint 3rd best, 1.7 steals. 23-year-old Muthu Krishnan over the last 2 games up to 15.5 points a game. 2 meters 10 centre Barar, a tournament 2nd best, 2.3 blocks, as well as a tournament 4th best, 8.3 rebounds. Pranav Prince, though, is their crown jewel, the 20-year-old, averaging an all-round impressive tournament 7th best, 14.7 points, 5 rebounds, a tournament joint 3rd best, 5 assists, 1.3 steals and 1 block. He's 6th across the whole tournament in average efficiency. It is a young team though for India, and they face a very experienced Saudi Arabian side. Captain Mohammed Al Marwani had his best game yet on Monday after a tough start. Matna Al Marwani though has struggled, only got 9 minutes in the 3rd game, so others took charge. Fahad Belal had his best game in game 3, had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Khalid Abdel-Gabbar is getting better and better, ranked 2nd in the tournament in assists and 10th in points. And Mohammed Al-Suwailem, the big centre, the best player across all players at this tournament in average efficiency. He ranks 3rd with 21.7 points, 1st with 15.7 rebounds a game. Ahead of tip-off in this one, we'll pause for the national anthems. Saudi Arabia getting their first win of the tournament in the last game 2 days ago. And I mentioned the big centre, Mohammed Al Suwaylem, who is dominating on the inside at this tournament, also averaging 5.7 offensive rebounds a game. And his presence absolutely crucial to that win. Saudi Arabia shot 60% from the field while holding Indonesia to 35% from two-point range, I beg your pardon. And then dominated the boards as well, including a +8 in offensive rebounds and points in the paint for Saudi Arabia in that game, 50-18 in their advantage. That's cause for concern for their opponents, India, today, if they are to keep up their pursuit of top spot, because India only shot below 40% from two-point range in their defeat a couple of days ago to Kazakhstan. Tried to rely on their three-point percentage to keep them close in that one. We'll see their starting five first. Muimbek Hafiz can score. Vishish Briguvanshi is the reliable captain. Bra, the shot blocker and big rebounder. Anadu Rai could improve after a positive start to the tournament. He struggled the last couple of games. Vasilin Matic, the Serbian head coach for India. No doubt his standout star is Pranav Prince, the 20-year-old. And they'll look to the 23-year-old Muthu Krishnan and the 21-year-old Sekon to help out in that regard as well. Mohammed Al Marwani at centre, getting better and better. Mohammed Al Suwaylem will play at centre. Al Marwani playing in the 4 position. Al Suwaylem, the most dominant player in the whole of the competition for Ali Al Sanhani's team. And we'll see if they can continue it here. It's really intriguing. India, a lot of players who can score from distance. Lots of options in the backcourt. Saudi Arabia dominant on the interior. Saudi Arabia, lots of experience. India, lots of youth. Big problem for India in that defeat 2 days ago was the turnover count, 16 turnovers. I hope to improve that in this one here, but that will be difficult against a Saudi team that have their tails up right now, as well as the inevitable contribution from the centre Al Suwaylem. They had other players stepping up that hadn't done so the previous 2 games. We've seen Matna Al Marwani struggle so far. He was expected to be a key player for them here. Didn't play well the first 2 games, then got just the 9 minutes in game 3. Instead, they turned to the likes of Fahad Belal, who'd not done much the first 2 games, just 4.5 points a game, and then had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 0 turnovers in that win. And Ali Shubaili, who was anonymous the first 2 games, and then in game 3 stepped up with 12 points on perfect field goal shooting, 4 assists, 0 turnovers, as well as Musab Kadi, the 24-year-old power forward who had just 2 points, 0 rebounds or blocks the first 2 games. And then in game 3, put up 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds and 2 blocks. And he also did an excellent job in shutting down opponents on defense. He had the responsibility of guarding Yuda Saputera, the Indonesian point guard who has been one of the best players at this tournament. And was able to somewhat keep him quiet, or at least limit his options. So you wonder if they'll use defensive prowess again today, perhaps to guard the likes of Pranav Prince. Vasilin Matic on the India bench. He's worked with a number of high-profile NBA players throughout his career, coached numerous international programs. Great man to mould the young talents at his disposal. So Saudi Arabia simply have to win to stand even the faintest chance of making next year's Olympic qualifying tournaments. India must win as well, and if they do, then they would set up perhaps a winner-takes-all contest against Bahrain tomorrow. Again, as we talked about, straight away, Saudi Arabia onto the interior, two bigs combining, and a chance at a three-point play. That is their big weapon. Mohamed Al Marwani, the captain, converting, but off the pass from centre Al Suwailem. Let's see how India responds, what they can do to try and solve that problem. Briguvanchi. Anna Durai taking some time and getting it right. Did well the first couple of games, only played 5 minutes in the defeat to Kazakhstan a couple of days ago. Al Suwailem going to work on Barar straight away. Big job Barar with the help defense as well. India solving the problem early on, and then razzle dazzle in transition, trip to the foul line for two. So double teaming Mohamed Al Suwailem. The option there for India, but of course on that previous score for Saudi Arabia, he did pass out of the pressure to his teammate. So it's a pick your poison approach for the India defense. Pranav Prince at the line, splitting the pair. India by 2, 4-2 so far. And there you go, there's that other option on the inside, Mohamed Al Marwani. So if they don't go to Al Suwailem, they go to Al Marwani. And two bigs in the starting five for Saudi Arabia to try and hammer home their interior advantage. Khalid Abdel-Gabbar, the perimeter player. Back out, Al Suwailem puts it on the floor, into the lane. Nice pass from the big man to evade the big body in front of him. Al Suwailem turning point guard. That's a head-hanging moment for India. You feel you've got Al Suwailem where you want him, a bit further away from the basket, and then he has options ahead and picks the perfect pass. Offensive rebound, here comes Prince. It's going to be called for a travel. Prince has been very efficient through the course of this tournament, making the error there and turning the ball over. 4-4. I'm not seeing that score graphic on your stream, so I'll try and keep you updated as best I can. Abdel-Gabbar. Saudi Arabia looking for the lead. Abdel-Gabbar going through the gears, and a goaltend. The basket will count. Again, so much focus on Al Suwailem, the center. It opens up driving lanes towards the basket for those backcourt players as well. Long pass down the floor for India. Now trailing. Here goes Prince. India's crown jewel. Pranav Prince throwing it down. Take off for the 20-year-olds. And we are level at 6. Another burst to the basket from Abdel-Gabbar. Down that left side, 2 in a row, carbon copies. Saudi Arabia scoring at will right now. And the block from Al Suwailem as well. He's already doing a bit of everything. Al Marwani spinning, underarm scoop doesn't go. Coach not happy, nor his player. He may have felt there was a foul there. A defensive foul. Instead, it's the other way. Barar blocked off by Al Marwani. Barar was desperate to get going with Al Suwailem away from the basket, but it was the other big who stopped him. Bell out. Al Marwani very active early on. Disappointed with that previous attempt. Oh, he's gone down here. He got right back on the horse and scored, but it's come at a cost, it seems. Well, that's a big concern for Saudi Arabia in this game because of how well the captain Mohammed Al Marwani has started. It's been the big 1-2 punch combination of him and Al Suwailem on the inside that's done the most damage to India. The third prong of the attack then coming from the backcourt through Abdel Gabbar's drives to the basket. Saudi Arabia haven't even attempted a three-point shot yet. They're 5 of 7 from two-point range. Barar back to Hafiz. Saudi Arabia lead by 4, 10-6. Pranav Prince from the elbow, puts it up. He's got good length, Pranav Prince, but that time the shot too long. No, excellent defense. And the floor opens up for Prince. The skip, but not the score. Intimidated on the inside by Al Suwailem. Points not coming easily for India. Al Suwailem looking to dribble it down the floor. He's not scored yet, Al Suwailem, but he's got 2 rebounds, 2 assists and a block shot. And intimidated a few more. Saudi Arabia will feel they should have been in with a chance of winning this tournament. Belal, short, because of all the experience they've got. Al Suwailem from the stripe too long. And because they kept the majority of their key players from the Asia Cup and World Cup qualifying here at this tournament, a number of other teams didn't. But what really hurt them was losing to Syria by such a fine margin. They led by 13 points in that game. That was on game day 2. They ended up losing by just 2 points. Had they won that one, they would be in a very good position to go and win the group. But that's the format, and those are the margins. Suwailem, 0 of 3 from the field, but he's at the line now to try and get his first points. He's got 4 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, 2 assists and a block, but he can't score. He's averaging a tournament third best, 21.7 points. Doing so, shooting 63% from the field, 77% at the line. Over the previous 3 games, has to settle for 1 of 2 there. Nobody close to him in terms of rebounding ability. Sandhu next up to try and attack Al Suwailem. Misses. Offensive rebound though. Sandhu, the 20-year-old centre, coming in for India. Briguvanchi working behind the screen of Sandhu. Briguvanchi short. Can he grab the rebound? He can. Third chance scoring opportunity. Prince elevates a long way off and nothing going down for India. Even when they get decent looks, it's just not happening for them. So 2 of 11 from the field. Oh, nice pass. Al Suwailem again. The giant centre has turned point guard with 3 assists in the opening few minutes. Now a 7-point lead for Saudi. Briguvanchi misses. It goes from bad to worse for India. 2 of 12 now. 13-6 is your score. Hardy couldn't convert, taking it to the basket. India need to get it together sooner rather than later here. Wide open, 3-point shot. Sandhu, the centre can't convert. It's not his game. Saudi Arabia have the bit between their teeth. Corner triple is a dagger, perhaps to India hopes of winning the whole thing. 16-6 is the score. A double-digit lead. India timeout.
What is your man score? 3 layup score. Arvin for send him more to the right. Send to the right. War and then Vishesh. I'm taking 10. No, he will take 10. He will take some other one. Chest now. Chest motion. Chest motion, run a fast break. And be ready to change something in a defense. You are for a pulpit. Haydi start. What change you want? Whatever happen, you are making bullshit here. Whatever that happen.
India down in a deep, deep hole. Saudi Arabia setting out their stall early on, pounding India in the paint, and then turning to the perimeter. Their first 3 of the game knocked down by Musab Qadi to make it a double-digit lead. And India look a far cry from the team that won their first 2 games. Confidence and positivity evaporating from this young team. They'll try and get it going again off the back of the timeout. Sekon, the 21-year-old. Sandhu, the 20-year-old. Again, it's the center taking the 3-point shot. I beg your pardon, that was Amjot, Gilsing Amjot, but again, it's not his game, the power forward. So India now 1 of 5 from 3 and 1 of 10 from 2. At least get another go. Muthu Krishnan, he can provide a scoring spark. But they look scared, timid to take it to the interior, even when that is the option. You've got to try and move Al-Suwailem out. Maybe get him in foul trouble if you can with some aggressive drives. Or knock down a series of 3s. At the moment, they're doing none of that. Now 2 of 16 from the field for India. 3-point shot again and fouled on it. And again, that's just the intimidation factor and the frustration factor. India not in the zone on offense and losing their head somewhat on defense. The foul on a 3-point shot. It's been a complete collapse from their point of view, but it's been a game plan and a performance orchestrated to perfection so far from a Saudi point of view. Khalid Abdel-Gabbar at the line. Already 5 points for him, had those 2 drives to the basket. Now, looking to make it a perfect 7 points in as many minutes to start. And he does. And that rather illustrates the fact it might not be India's day. Saudi Arabia lead by 13. Abdel-Gabbar goes to the bench on those perfect 7 points in 7 minutes. One positive, really, for India here is they've got a lot of time to try and put it right. Muthu Krishnan, nobody free, no options opening up. Static 3, Hafiz misses. They can't buy a bucket right now. And Saudi Arabia missed the 3 down the floor. This is what they have to do as well, not let them set on defense. It's still a tough basket, but they get it through Muthu Krishnan. And even when they tried to pass swiftly down the floor to not let the defense set, Al-Suwailem had the mobility to get back to try and disrupt the shot. Just a great finish from Muthu Krishnan. And the first score in what feels like an eternity for India. Qadi runs into a body. and draws contact. What a long, long drought it was for India. And that score for Muthu Krishnan ending a 13-point unanswered run from Saudi Arabia. They've gone from 6-6 to 19-6. And they're back up by 13 with the foul shots from Cardi. The first hurdle for India was just getting a score. They have to figure out how to get a series of them and a few defensive stops. Pranav Prince for three, open look, can't hit it. That's been his problem. He's been excellent all round. Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, but only shooting 20% from three-point range. And that's the Achilles heel for Pranav Prince. Also Waylem. Oh, he got it! With Big Sandhu riding his back. He's carrying his team on his back and even opponent players. What a way to get his first field goal as well, having missed his first three shots, but it was always going to be a matter of when and not if. He's now got 4 points, 6 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, 3 assists and a block. Into the game comes Mohammed Khalid Cardi, who's only played 3 minutes so far. Saudi Arabia up by 16. They have blown India to bits. Hafiz pulls up, creating a bit of breathing room and knocks down the shot. Muimbek Hafiz. That's much better offense for India. Of course, they will have more opportunity because Mohamed Al Suwailem has gone to the bench. Belal for three. They are all in the zone over the top of Pranav Prince, the triple for Belal. And even when India get a bit of positivity, Saudi Arabia stretch the lead. Pranav Prince back out. Here's Hafiz again, or Muthu Krishnan rather, than a foul. So Saudi Arabia with those 2 bigs both on the bench right now, Mohammed Al Marwani and Mohammed Al Suwailem. So what generated the early momentum and all of the early points for Saudi Arabia is no longer on the court. Mohammed Al Marwani hasn't returned since that injury. So he sits on 6 points and a block in just 3.5 minutes. Belal's going out here. Al Suwailem getting a well-deserved break to recharge the batteries ahead of the second quarter, having played 8.5 minutes. Muthu Krishnan. India have to make the most of this opportunity, and Muthu Krishnan, nifty move down the baseline and under the basket. Said he can score in streaks, Muthu Krishnan, and gets his second field goal there. 15 points the lead, though, for Saudi Arabia, a huge quarter for them. Matne Al Marwani turns it over. Long pass down the floor. Muthu Krishnan again. He'll score once more, and that's enough cause for concern for Saudi Arabia to call the timeout. So 13 is the deficit from 17 down, and India are picking their moment to pounce with the Saudi bigs on the bench. Muthu Krishnan now with 6 perfect points in just 3.5 minutes on court. I think that was the end of the quarter, in fact, rather than a timeout. Again, we're not seeing the clock on your video stream, but the score in the nick of time for India to close that 17-point lead down to 13. finally got a few shots to go. That, simple terms, is down to the fact that Alsu Waylem and Mohamed Al Marwani have not been on the floor. It's allowed them the opportunity to reduce the offensive flow of Saudi Arabia without those bigs to command the paint, and it's also, off the back of a few Saudi Arabia misses, offered opportunities in transition. Allowed them to attack the basket more without those intimidating presences. So that was the end of the first quarter. We're getting ready for the start of the second. 27-14 is the lead for Saudi Arabia. Still very positive indeed. And we'll see if they turn back to Alsu Waylem or leave him on the bench. They've used the handoff. So still no Alsu Waylem on the floor for Saudi Arabia. He continues to get a rest. Early foul. India need to pick up where they left off at the end of the first quarter. Try and reduce the arrears before Alsu Waylem returns. Mutu Krishnan back out. They could really do with hitting a three. Still not dropping for them on the outside. 1 of 8. Musab Kadi to the stripe, lost the handle on the ball, threw it up wildly. Now they have that chance in transition again off the turnover. Mutu Krishnan drops it off. Can they put it in? No, they can't. And in this position, down 13 and by as many as 17, you simply have to take advantage of opportunities like that when the opponent's key players are not on the court. Abdel Gabbar, nice little pass in between two, and that's what happens. Kadi puts it in, 15 the advantage. Not only is it a miss for India in an opportunity where they should score, but also it gives Saudi Arabia a better opportunity to get down the floor themselves and score and make it a point swing. And they have that chance again here, protecting their paint. Abdel Gabbar for 3. Largest lead of the game is now 18, and Saudi Arabia doing it with Alsu Waylem still sitting. Backdoor cut down the baseline, dropped off and put in with the foul. So they can't hit a modern 3, but they have a chance to get one the old-fashioned way, India. Arvind Anadurai, the score. So 16, the margin, taking it down from what was a game-high 18. Musab Kadi to the stripe. Impressive in that Game 3 win. With his numbers in various categories, but his all-round athleticism used to his advantage at both ends of the floor. He splits the pair, so 17 is the game. India still very much in the game, but not really showing any signs of recovery so far after that demoralizing start. Hitting threes would really help, and they can't. 1 of 9 now. Offensive rebound, though. Haviz. Briguvanci, the captain. Got a big job leading the rest of these young players now. 3-point shot. Ravat, they're just determined to knock it down and failing to do so. Perhaps thinking that's their only route back into the game now. 1 of 11 from 3-point range. Cardi. Drifting away from the basket, wild shot. India protect their backboard. Long pass down the floor, 2 players in the end zone, couple of up fakes. Wild again though. Muthu Krishnan trying to recover. They look beaten already at India here. Got to put this right from a psychological point of view at least, because it's getting worse and worse and worse. That's it, Abo Jalas with the score. 19 now, the largest lead for Saudi Arabia. Where do India go from here? Need somebody to inject some life, provide a spark. I wonder if 18-year-old Harsh Dagar is that player. Not played yet. Pranav Prince certainly can do it, but he's 1 of 6 from the field, Pranav Prince. We're going to have a timeout. Saudi Arabia absolutely dominant, up by 19 points.
Guys, I take timeout. This bonus for you. You play hard. 5 against 5. He's hard to score. Good job, guys. You protecting the basket. You get the rebound. You go run. Okay. الحاجة الوحيدة اللي هي قلت لك أي كورة شاتت يطلع فاست بريك. نص سكورة متسجل من الفاست بريك. Okay. Don't give him second chance and go play. Okay. الآن I give you blow yourself. Okay. Continue play, guys. Okay. Qadi, good job. Mohammed Makano. Nasser, good play. Take your time, fast break, fast.
Now you hear Coach Ali El-Sanhani. He wants Saudi Arabia to use their length, their size, their athleticism to provide a platform from which to launch the offense, disrupt shots, protect their backboard, get out in transition. They are 20-14 ahead in the rebounding battle. But he's not happy that India have grabbed 6 offensive rebounds. Wants to protect the backboard to put this game out of sight. It's not what he was after. India grabbed the ball again. And a trip to the foul line with Briguvanci. The 31-year-old guard, a veteran of this team. A steady tournament so far, 6.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, 3 assists and 1 steal a game. Shot the ball well on the perimeter, but struggled on the interior. Has to settle for 1 of 2 at the line. You're in a situation where they need each and every point they can get, and they're only 2 of 5 at the foul line. Saudi Arabia are infallible, though, here in the second quarter. Abdel Gabbar. He and Al-Su Whalen back on the floor now, so the big hit is back out there, with Saudi Arabia only having increased their advantage. Al-Su Whalen bats it back, but all the way to the backcourt, all the way to the baseline even. Such was the intensity of his will to get on the ball. What a flash towards the basket from Matna Al-Mawani, and the laser beam pass to match. He can't drop the shot, but he does go to the line for 2. Expected to be one of those big hitters for Saudi Arabia. Matna Al-Mawani here. Led the team in points and rebounds in World Cup qualifying. Led the team on average in 3 major categories at the Asia Cup, where he averaged a double-double. Really disappointing the first 2 games here. Averaged only 7 points with 4 of 19 shooting. 3 assists, but also 3 turnovers a game. And only got the 9 minutes in the Game 3 win. Didn't take a shot. after he was 1 of 10 from the field. And that 2-point defeat to Syria in game 2 that could ultimately cost Saudi Arabia their chances of winning this competition. That's the one they'll look back to. And his stat line is probably what you would look to in that defeat. Lead cut from 20, but they're not hanging around, Saudi Arabia. They're just hanging the ball up and hanging in the air and hitting everything they throw towards the basket. 20 the lead. Anytime India get a bit of positivity, it's quickly pounded out of them. The very faint silver lining in this quarter is Saudi Arabia are at the foul limit now. India still with 2 fouls to give, with 5.5 minutes to play until halftime. India really struggling to hit from the field. Might have to rely on getting fouls and trips to the line. Then they have to knock them down. Only 2 of 5 as a team before that one from Brigovanshi. Got to keep your heads. You can't look at the sheer size of the margin. It's about playing hard and playing right on each and every possession, seeing where it takes you only until half-time, and then maybe you go in feeling it's a bit more possible. You can regroup, but again, got to take chances, and they're not doing that. On the reverse, lovely layup from Cardi, showing that athleticism again. 21 the lead. Gonna do right, Hafiz. Looking to go one-on-one here, Muthu Krishnan, pirouette into the paint, contested shot, misses. This is a really disappointing performance from India. I think as much from a psychological point of view than anything else, because they're playing, it seems as if the game's gone already, and have been for a while. Prince lost it. Not taking care of the basketball. Cardi moves it on. 3-point shot. Matne Al-Marwani. He's finally arrived at this tournament, and so have Saudi Arabia. But is it too little too late? Timeout India, 24 the deficit. This has been an absolute knockout.
You have to running in the basket, not to stay. You have to running into your side of the floor. That is the side of the three in a zone. That is again chest, man to man in a chest. Through, go through, chest, read, maybe back door, maybe faster, just wait a little bit here, maybe inside, read what happened, just read what happened, and then try from a fast break.
Game transition, okay, let's go guys, let them play 5 against 5.
Not just a knockout, but a second round knockout. Feels like the game is won, of course. Stranger things have happened in the game of basketball. There's still 24.5 minutes to play, but it's a 24-point game. And India don't look in it in terms of their cohesion, their skill set, their matchups, or indeed their mentality. Ashtagar, the 18-year-old, is in for the first time. Little up fake, step through. Trying to shift the defense around. Shot clock ticking down. Mid-ranger, off the mark for Sekon. Abu Jalas going back to Belal. Great spacing on the floor from Saudi Arabia. It all started when they dominated the inside, then knocked down a couple of threes. Belal, that's a tough shot. You don't know which avenue of attack for Saudi Arabia they have to worry about the most. Three-point shot again, and they string it to beat the shot clock buzzer. Fahad Belal, a 47-point first half already for Saudi Arabia. Sheer dominance over an India team that was hoping to challenge Bahrain for top spot. And it is Harsh Dagar, the 18-year-old, who knocks down only the second three-pointer of the game for India on their 12th attempt. They've gone so long without one. 24 the margin again, having been a game high 27 before that three, and they just keep on coming. 2.5 to play, and surely they'll hit the half century. Three-point shot, Briguvanchi, back-to-back threes for India. I said never say never. Harsh Dagar is trying to apply that pressure on defense. That's the kind of attitude they need. I just wonder if it was a minute or two too late to bring him off the bench to provide that energy. 21 the gap. They want to take it below 20 at the very least. There's the steal from Sekon, and it will open up for him to fly. The youngsters providing the injection that India needed. The 18-year-old Dagar and the 21-year-old Sekon. 19 the margin. A little bit of pressure applied to Saudi Arabia. They protect the backboard as well. Briguvanchi down the floor. Options left and right. Sekon, far side. Three-point shot. Big if it goes, but it doesn't. It was Dagar with a miss. But a scoring spurt here. 8 unanswered points for India. 2 threes, and then that steal and saw from Sekon. But Belal comes right back at them. A half century of points for Saudi Arabia in the first half. Another timeout. The margin back to 22. And India know they have a mountain to climb. They've at least taken their first steps on it.
We don't need 3 points, big guy, because nobody. Okay, take your time. ونحن قاعدين نكسب نديهم. كل مرة نشوت الكرة غلط نروحوا transition offense you shoot the ball. You don't need. واجههم okay. إذا قطع معاه. Protect the games. 1 minute and 13 seconds. Okay? Okay شباب. محمد صب قاضي. Yes sir. Okay, let's go. نفس قاضي ها. Okay. خالد. Stay without foul, 5-1, Khalid 2, no, Khalid, let's Khalid 2, you 1, 5-2, Ali, go play 4, okay, man to man. Let's go,
What it would mean for the tournament if Saudi Arabia do get this win, as Bahrain could seal that ticket to the Olympic qualifying tournaments next year by winning this tournament with a win in the next game today, even before the final day of action. Bumping bodies, trying to shift around. It was an opportunity to score for Anadu Rai. They've been forced into some tough shots by Saudi Arabia, mainly early on with that dominant start from Al Suwailam and Mohamed Al Marwani. And then after that, even when they've got better looks at the basket, they've struggled to take them, having not found their scoring rhythm. That's better. Muthu Krishnan. Transition opportunities, India's best outlet at the moment. Very nearly a steal from Muthu Krishnan. 20 the margin. Abdel Gabbar ran into traffic, lost it, but Hafiz couldn't grab it. There's something there for India, but they're not being clinical enough in taking opportunities that would really make it game on. Final seconds of this second quarter. Belal. India need a defensive stop. Saudi Arabia moving it around. Lovely basketball again. Finished off by Abdel-Jabbar. And Saudi Arabia take a 22-point lead into half-time to really rile India players and coaches. A 52-point first half for Saudi Arabia. They'll look to go 2-2. But that won't be enough. If Bahrain move to 4-0 later on, it would be the end of the tournament. India the only team that could match Bahrain on 4 wins, but they have to win this one. And they trail at half-time, 52-30. Again, Saudi Arabia will look back to that 2-point defeat to Syria, in which they threw away a 13-point lead. And feel they should have that one extra win, which would see them in contention to challenge Bahrain. But half-time here, they have eventually put it right over the last 2 game days after the 0-2 start. Led here by the 12 points of Khalid Abdel-Jabbar. Somewhat a personification of their struggles to start and their improvement through the course of the competition. He's a perfect 4 of 4 from the field and 3 of 3 from the line. He's also got 5 rebounds and 3 assists. They've had 9 points in 13 minutes from Fahad Belal. Steal from him as well. They've had 7 points from Matna Al-Marwani, who's been a shadow of his former self through the previous games of the tournament. 7 perfect points from him. 2 assists as well. In the centre, Mohammed Al-Marwani, 6 points before getting injured early on, helped to set the tone. Alongside the other centre, Mohammed Al-Suwailem, who's got 4 points, only 1 of 5 shooting from the field, but 7 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, 3 assists and a block so far. Cardi with 8 points as well. It's a really well-balanced team approach, which started with the power in the paint, opened up the rest of the floor with that outside shooting. They're 60% from 2, and now 6 threes at 55% Saudi Arabia. It's as good as it gets for them. As for India, only 31% from the field. It was a lot lower before the last few minutes, in which they got transition opportunities to get the scoreboard moving again. They've trailed by as many as 27. It's 22 at the half. They're led by the 8 points of Muthu Krishnan and 4 of 6 shooting. And 7 points behind him from Arvind Anadu Rai on 3 of 7 shooting. Nobody else has shot the ball well at all. Star player Pranav Prince, 1 of 6 for just 3 points so far. There's so much to do for India, but it's not game over just yet. At half-time, Saudi Arabia 52, India 30. Welcome back to the Al Fayha Stadium in Damascus. A huge half-time lead for Saudi Arabia over India by 22 points, 52-30. And another shock is on the cards at this tournament. It's been full of them. India producing one of them when they won their first 2 games to put themselves alongside Bahrain as the main contenders. In fact, that Bahrain are a perfect 3-0 as the second lowest ranked team in the competition. That India then lost their 3rd game after such a positive start. Saudi Arabia losing to Syria, throwing away a big lead, and now having a huge advantage against India. You just don't quite know what you're going to get. One consistent at the tournament, despite a few expecting it coming in, is Bahrain being brilliant, and they would win the whole thing if they get a win later on. India can't come back in this one. There's Bahrain against Indonesia next. A talented team, full of talented young players for Bahrain, against 2 of the best individuals in the competition, Marquise Bolden and Yuda Saputera. And then we finish the day's action with Kazakhstan against Syria. Priguvanchi down on his knees almost, with his hands on his head in disbelief that he couldn't connect with their teammates. It's been a horror show so far for India, and that's not the best way of trying to put it right. That turnover right at the start of the second half, where they want to build early momentum, having forced Saudi Arabia to get them the ball back. Now they just turn to their hustle, get it back again. But again, we've said it all through the game, even when they create better opportunities, they're not clinical with them. 3 or 4 like that now, where they've worked hard, got close to the basket, got a good look and not taken it. And in this position, down big, against a team with the bit between its teeth and a size advantage as well, you've just got to take your chances. Comeback has been possible for India, but that will hammer home the point that Al Suwailam is the dominant force on the interior in this competition. The kind of energy and aggression that India just haven't had today, highlighted by Mohammed Al Suwailam flying high. India respond. Score graphic just a little late to update. 54-32 is the score, so 22 the margin as it was at half-time. Oh, going for another one, but Cardi not able to replicate the dunk a few seconds earlier from his teammate Al Suwailam. And a block from Al Suwailam as well. Barar will come back and he'll put it in. We've not really seen anything of Barar, the India centre. And he gets that one for the second time of asking, but Al Suwailam is in lockdown mode and finisher mode here in this 3rd quarter. The margin. Cardi lost it, but they get it back. I mentioned Barar after that score a few seconds ago, and his 2nd field goal of the game. He's only played 7 minutes. 2 meters 10, India centre. Wondered if he'd be the one that would go up against Al Suwailam more often than any other. Rebound Pranav Prince. Chance to take it back into the teens. With 17.5 minutes to play. Mid-range spot for Barar. Now he does get a chance up against Al-Suwailim, gets away from him and throws it down. Barar putting the tournament star on a poster. Like a message to his coach as well, play me more. But then, the backbreaker. At the other end, the roll around, the drop and the contact and a chance at a three-point play. Barar, though, now 2 field goals since coming back in. The reason he's not been on the court has been the foul trouble. I beg your pardon. But his coach will have no alternative but to play him now. India in this perilous position, they turn it over. Cardi arriving on the trail, Belal, they're queuing up. Up fake into the lane, back out, Belal. Al-Suwailim to take it at Barar and to score easily. Yeah, I beg your pardon, the 3 fouls on Barar, the reason he's been limited to 8 minutes so far. So now he's going to play, I think, until he picks up that 4th foul. Because India are at last chance saloon. And it's just not happening. The offensive foul and the turnover. Well, not turning the ball over has been one positive for them, but it's now 6 in the game. Seems like everything his team try is quickly solved, quickly repelled by Saudi Arabia. Hanging around in the game without it being firmly game over is only so good for so long. And at a time where they really have to move it up a couple of levels, and Prince can try and do that as he slices, dices, doesn't get the drop though, misses 2 in a row. It's been a bad day for their young star. It's been a bad day for most of them. Belal thinking about the long 2, wide open 3-point shot. India get away with it, Barar the rebound. Pranav Prince is 1 of 8 from the field now. He's such a capable scorer through the first 3 games, averaging 14.7 points. He's got just 3 here. Barar can't finish on the reverse against the more mobile Al-Suwailim. And in. And he shows his mobility at both ends of the floor. That added length and wingspan, it stopped Barar on defense, it beat Barar on offense. Al-Suwailim getting it falling down. He's on the hunt for a double-double again. Cardi ripping down the rebound. And flying forward, finding Belal on the nice bounce pass for 3. Belal knocks it down. It's been a clinic from Saudi Arabia. Unfathomable, really, that this is a team that started 0-2, dominating a team that started 2-0. 27 ties the largest lead. And that was Al-Suwailim's first foul. I said early on, one way of stopping him would be the foul trouble. That has certainly not come to fruition, nor have any of the other options for Vasilij Matic's team in terms of their game plan. Al-Suwailim's gone to the bench on 10.7 rebounds. Unsportsmanlike foul. You feel it can't get any worse for India, it does. So free throws and possession for Saudi Arabia. Just that one scoring burst that took the deficit into the teens. Since then, Saudi Arabia have put their foot firmly on the accelerator again. Shubaili at the line, his first point. So the largest lead of the game at 29, and a chance with the ball back here off the unsportsmanlike foul to get it beyond 30. It's a huge blow for India. They're at 4 fouls as well now in this quarter, with Saudi Arabia yet to commit one. That was one problem for Saudi Arabia in the first half, the foul trouble, but they do get their first there on the offensive foul and a turnover. But as well as being a damaging blow for India, it's a damaging blow for the competition in a way. It's a huge boost for Bahrain. Bahrain can finish the job and win the prize at this tournament in the next game against Indonesia. And we still have 4 games to play. (31) the lead. Of course, if Indonesia can pull off an upset and beat Bahrain, handing them their first defeat, it would open things up again. But Bahrain will be strong favourites for that one. And by definition, then, strong favourites to secure that ticket to next year's Olympic qualifying tournaments with a win this afternoon. Basket and one for Pranav Prince. He's in his second field goal on 9 attempts today. Look through the numbers across the box score. There's very few, if any, real positives for India, and Prince misses a free throw. So the team are 3 of 8 from the foul line. They're shooting 32% from the field. Bit of hustle on defense, that's one of the positives. Muthu Krishnan floats that one in. 9 steals for India. And only 8 turnovers. So they're 2 of the positives, but no good if you can't shoot the ball. Three-point shots. Belal short. He's been shooting it well today. Sekon down the floor. Try to avoid that Saudi Arabian defense setting. Saudi Arabia do get back well, but Prince is on the trail, pulling the trigger on a 3 and knocking it down. Pranav Prince with the triple. An unlikely source, really, for him, because he came in shooting just 20% from 3. He's not been able to hit his 2s today, but he knocks down the 3. He's up to 8 points, more field goals now in the last minute or so than in the whole of the game previously. Saudi Arabia miss another 3. 23 the margin. Still not game, set, a match. Sekon for 3. That would have taken it to 20. Ignited a bit of belief. But again, even when they've had good looks, they've not taken them, India. Shooting 24% from 3. 4 of 17. It's been right across the team. They've not been able to get them to go. Turnover Saudi Arabia. 5 more turnovers than India. India have also had a +6 in offensive rebounds, so plenty of extra possessions, but the shooting has just been so torrid from them and so good from Saudi Arabia. It's still this huge margin. Basket doesn't count, despite... Oh, it does! Well, they were asking for it. Aman Sandhu. He gets the 2 and a chance to add 1 more. So 45 for India. So they've gone on another scoring spurt. After a few minutes ago, they were trailing by 31. Since then, it's a 10-0 unanswered run. 46 they have now. So 21 is the margin. 10 points unanswered. Can Saudi Arabia get the offense moving again? No, they can't. We saw it on this near side, and now we see it on the far side. A sneaker on the sideline to turn it over. It might force the timeout from the Saudi head coach, Ali Al-Sanhani. His team just taking the eyes off the prize, although it's just changes, no timeout yet. I'm sure there'll be one here. With India in possession if they get it beneath 20. Sekon, rather Muthu Krishnan, and it is a 19-point game. It's not over. No timeout yet. Down the floor come Saudi Arabia. This is a big final minute of the third quarter. Saudi Arabia still with a huge safety net, but India have wind in their sails. They're moving it around, taking their time, missing the shot. There is time here. Pranav Prince skipping and scoring, and it's a 17-point margin. What a remarkable sequence from an India team that haven't looked capable of producing this kind of run. They've scored 14 without reply to reduce a 31-point deficit down to 17 with 10.5 minutes to play.
تعال يمين تحت اليمين طلع كرة من هنا اوكي طلع كرة من هنا مصعب فايق جوران اوكي خالد هيل فهد هيل
I don't care about it.
India doing their best to rally to make it interesting. But that run, that 14-0 run, coming when Saudi Arabia had their two key players today on the bench again. Al-Suwailem, he's going to continue to sit. Abdul Gabbar is back in. Nominal differential on the shot and game clock, so Saudi Arabia will look to hold it for the final shot of the period. Corner three, good look, big shot, taken, falling back into the India bench. Knocked down superbly by Ali Shubaili to shut down India's hopes of a comeback for the ages. Just scintillating shooting from Saudi Arabia right from the start. They lead by 20 at the end of three, 70-50. They're shooting 63% from two and 47% on the perimeter. Saudi Arabia led by 12 points apiece from Abdul Gabbar and Fahad Belal. That huge jam from Al-Suwailem. He's got 10.7 rebounds. Their third scorer in double figures. They've had 8 points from Cardi, 7 each from Al-Mawani and Shubaili, 6 each from the other Al-Mawani, Mohammed and Abu Jalas. It's been a real team effort. Everybody right at it today. Barar doing well when he's been in the game, dunking past Al-Suwailem, but he's been limited by foul trouble, and that's been a big blow for India. 3 fouls early on for Barar, limited to 10.5 minutes in which he's got 6 points, 5 rebounds and a block. One player with the size to try and matchup against Al-Suwailem, who beat him easily there. Got in behind him on that occasion to use his length, his mobility wisely and effectively. Saudi Arabia have been really impressive. Up by as many as 31 before a 14-point unanswered run for India. Took it down to 17, offered a bit of hope in the closing seconds of the third quarter, but then that huge three from Shubaili at the buzzer makes it a 20-point margin at the start of the fourth quarter. And India in need of a miracle. The third quarter was their best offensive quarter of the game, scoring 20. Now they have to score 20 more than Saudi Arabia in the fourth. Al-Suwailem blocking off the attempt of Sandhu. Shot clock still ticking here. Got to throw it up. Not sure he's aware. Too late, Muthu Krishnan. The basket does not count. He leads the way for India with 12 points on 6 of 8 shooting. Pranav Prince is at a push up to 10 on 4 of 11 shooting. And 7 from Anadu Rai, but on 3 of 9 shooting. 6 for Brar, as I mentioned, but limited by foul trouble. Sandhu just 1 of 5. Sekon just 1 of 4. Habib's just 1 of 4. Rawat 0 of 4. Delay to the game here as the officials go across to the scorers table. That's the shot clock violation. Away in time by Muthu Krishnan, second or two too late. Not sure what they're looking at. India need the quarter of their lives. All their early momentum in this tournament evaporating. Just confirmation there that it was a shot clock violation and the basket doesn't count. I don't think that was ever in doubt. The first time in the whole tournament we've seen the officials go to the video. A clock issue to check as well. Good defense from India to keep up, force the ball out of bounds, leaving 2.2 seconds to shoot for Saudi Arabia. No score yet in this fourth quarter. Cardi, quick release on the three and he knocks it down. Musab Cardi, really impressive across the last 2 games after hardly playing and hardly contributing the first 2. And a real change of direction from this Saudi Arabia side. You still feel it's very likely too little too late. That will be confirmed if Bahrain beat Indonesia in the next game today. Al-Gabar threading the eye of the needle. Nice footwork to move off the baseline. Al-Suwailem can't convert. India trying to push the ball swiftly down the floor. Sandhu got a look at the basket before Al-Suwailem got back, but then Al-Suwailem grabbing the rebound. He's now hunted down in packs by India. And here's Prince. Can't put it in. Backed up on the boards by his teammate Muthu Krishnan, but that rather sums up the whole day for India. Down by 23, maybe 25. Al Suwailem grabbing another rebound. He's just an absolute beast on the boards. And less than 8 minutes to play now. Got 4 scorers, Saudi Arabia. In double figures now, with a really nice balance. The keys to their improvement has been the longer minutes for Musab Qadi, the 24-year-old point guard, and the reduced minutes for the veteran Matna Al-Mawani, who is the team's leader in World Cup qualifying and at the Asia Cup. Matna Al-Mawani, the main man, but not producing in a big role the first 2 games. Musab Qadi, the last 2 games, 11 points in each of them. Had 8 rebounds in the last one. He's got 8 rebounds again here. Passing of the torch, perhaps, for the Saudi Arabia national team. It's 4 scorers for Saudi Arabia on 11 or 12 points. It's a lovely balance. Al Suwailem and Qadi each with 11. Belal and Abdel Gabbar each with 12. Al Suwailem also has 9 rebounds, so touching distance to a double-double for him, 2 blocks as well. And Abdel Gabbar, far off, flirting with a triple-double, 12.7 assists, 6 rebounds. Again, he's got better and better with each and every game. Sekon strings the 3. 21 is your margin. It's 3 players for Saudi Arabia who, when they've been on the floor, have really been the game changers. 3-pointer Abdel Gabbar, and he is one of them. 15 points now, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Putting a tough start to this tournament behind him. Turnover India, quick pass down the floor, still full of energy and clocking up the air miles, Musab Qadi. Flying and finishing in a big way. The hang time and the hammer, and then they hang on the rim to embellish the point that Saudi Arabia are well and truly on top.
Difficult to play anything. He immediately bring a ball. Now,
last time we have 4 seconds, we make the shot. So please balance between quick and shot. Okay, let's go, guys. You okay, Fahd?
I talked about the 3 Saudi Arabia players who've made it a very different game.
1, 2, 3.
Khalid Abdel Gabbar, Saudi Arabia plus 38 with him on the floor. Mohammed Al Suwailem in the center, Saudi Arabia plus 30 with him on the floor. And Musab Qadi, who just had that flying finish, Saudi Arabia plus 32 with him on the court. Nothing spectacular in the rest of the plus minuses. It's been those 3 players. Sandu at the line. And to tell you about the remainder of the program today. It's a little over an hour until our second game on this court, Bahrain against Indonesia. A little under an hour until we start our broadcast for that one. Bahrain will be able to secure top spot with a win and the ticket to next year's Olympic qualifying tournament. If Indonesia get the win, it opens it back up again. And we finish with Kazakhstan against Syria. Two teams both looking for their second wins, hoping to go 2-2. Score for Sandhu, the 20-year-old, getting longer minutes now with the game gone. India down 25. Well, the future for India basketball is bright. We've seen that through the course of this tournament, but perhaps not ready enough in the present to offer them that bright hope of continuing their Olympic journey. Year-old Aman Sandhu getting minutes at centre now. Pranav Prince, a 20-year-old who's been one of the best players at the competition until today. To Krishnan, 23-year-old, very positive scorer. Sekon, the 21-year-old, who scored well. And ranks joint third with 1.7 steals again, a real two-way player. And then, of course, the youngest of them all, Harsh Dagar, the 18-year-old, who, when he's had his moments on court, has impressed. A young group that can move forward and improve together. It looked like the first two games of this tournament that they had graduated to the senior stage here in Syria, but they've been brought back down to earth. And the learning curve has got a little steeper with defeats the last two game days. Nice pass, and the basket and one. So Sandhu showing his playmaking abilities from centre. And Sekon scoring, two of those young talents combining. Only 4.5 minutes to play. The margin. As it was at the start of this fourth quarter. Cardi. What an impressive display from Musab Cardi. The 24-year-old taking his moment in the spotlight, getting back on defense, disruptive there as well. I mentioned that he was one of the key players as they got back to winning ways in the last game. Not just with his 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, but his all-round defensive diligence in trying to keep Saputera quiet. And then here in this game, he's arguably been even more impressive, taking his moment with Matne Al-Mawani on the bench. Musab Cardi putting himself amongst the best players for Saudi Arabia. In that regard, a hint towards a bright future for them as well. Big centre Al Suwailam's only 25. The rest of the key players heading into this tournament were all veterans, but Cardi, the 24-year-old, showing that they have more to look forward to. And here's another, Saleh, the 23-year-old, who's hardly played at this tournament, coming in now and knocking down a three. Only played his first 2 minutes of the tournament late on in the last game, and he hit his only shot there. Sandhu. Lots of young players on the floor, desperate to impress. Final 3 minutes approaching, 21 the lead for Saudi Arabia, set to go 2-2. on a 2-game win streak. And India set to go 2-2 as well, but on a 2-game losing streak. Here's Saleh, same spot, same outcome. The youngster knocks down back-to-back triples. And no matter who's on the floor for Saudi Arabia, the clinical shooting continues. Amjot puts it in with the height advantage inside. 52% from three-point range and 12 made threes on those back-to-back triples from Saleh. I'll take one from the other side this time, and they're all letting it rain. 3 straight threes. That time Abdul Rahman Falata, another 23-year-old. Sandhu, the veterans have taken center stage early on at this tournament for Saudi Arabia, but the youngsters are looking to steal the spotlight late on. Corner 3, Sekon. Wide open miss. Final 2 minutes. Let's take a check on those stat lines for Saudi Arabia now, with the 3-pointers raining down on India. Hardy, who's on the bench now. Most impressive of their young talents. 15 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists and 2 steals today. Belal on the bench on 12 points, 5 assists, just 1 turnover, 3 steals. There's another player, an older player, who's come in and made the most of his minutes the last couple of games. The centre, El Suwaylem, won't get that double-double. He's rested on the bench, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3 assists. Amjot scoring. On the court, Abdel Jabbar still playing. Will fall just shy of a triple-double that had an extra 5 minutes. Might have been a real possibility. He really sums up this team, this tournament, in terms of how much he's improved. Abdel Jabbar, a really rough game 1, including 7 turnovers. In the last 2 games, he's averaged 14.5 points, 6 assists and just 0.5 turnovers. And then today, 15 points with just 1 missed shot, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 turnovers. And he goes to the bench. Final seconds of a really impressive win for Saudi Arabia. Sandhu denied by Matna Al-Marwani, back in the game and looking to send a statement that he's not finished at this level yet. Ashtagar onto the corner. Gil Amjot, no. Rebound Sandhu. And he puts it in, making the most of his minutes late on. And that will do it. Saudi Arabia, back-to-back wins. Very impressive in handing India back-to-back defeats. Both teams to 2-2. But what it means for the tournament is Bahrain a chance to win it if they can win the next game on this court today. India were hoping for a victory that would allow them the opportunity to set up a winner-takes-all match against Bahrain tomorrow. They have emphatically missed that opportunity, second best right the way through, as Saudi Arabia beat them 92-75. Saudi Arabia's power was palpable from the start. Through Al Suwaylem and Al Marwani, who shortly after succumbed to injury. They dominated the paint, then started to hit from the perimeter. They finished shooting 59% from 2 and 48% from 3 with 13 made threes. And in the meantime, dished 27 assists. A tremendous team performance, a new balance to this team, other players stepping up and taking key roles. And they seem to have found a winning formula, although it looks like it's too late, unless Indonesia can cause a shock in the next game. We'll see you for that one in just under an hour's time.
بدها تكون البحرين بأسوأ ايامه، وبده يكون تونسيا باحسن ايامه لحتى يصير هذا الشيء اللي نحن عم نحكي عليه.
تمام كوتش، بدنا نشوفك ان شاء الله اكيد بالايام اللي جايه معنا. شكرا كثير لحضرتك كوتش اشرف درغزلي.
ثانك يو حبيب قلبي، تسلم لي.
متابعينا مشاهدينا، مع نهايه المباراه منتخب السعوديه 92-75 مثل ما ذكرنا، رح نكون معكم مثل العاده 5:30 كمان بمباراه البحرين واندونيسيا مع الكوتش هلال دجاني. لا تروح